Joyous time zones, my Sakonauts. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as the Witch of Tylwyth Teg, and today we're going to talk about house spirits. Right. Hi, Bonnie. I appreciate the alert. Thanks for hanging out. Hi, Daya. I'm so glad you could make it this week. We can talk all the witchy things. It's going to be great. And let's see. If we haven't met before, I'd like to welcome you to my channel. It's very nice to meet you. And if you've been here before, it's so lovely to see you. I love you guys. I'd like to start this morning with a grounding ritual to start your day. This starts near, let me try that again. This starts near your domain. If you've not created a domain, you might want to sign up for my newsletter, which is linked below. Sit with your hands in your lap and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it for a moment. And as you let it out completely through your mouth, let go of the tension from the night and the grogginess of the morning. Take another deep breath in. As you breathe in, imagine you are breathing in pure love. And as you breathe out, imagine you are breathing out forgiveness. Take a third deep breath in, and as you do so, imagine a light coming in at the top of your head. This cleansing light now expands along your back, down your legs, and out through your feet. It is as if cleansing light is a constant flow, soothing energy entering from your head, passing out through the arches of your feet. You are just outside the door of your domain. The air is crisp and cool. The evergreens sway slightly in the breeze, and the ground has a large patch of moss at your feet. Step barefoot onto the moss. Feel how soft it is. Feel the solid ground underneath. That light coming into your head can now be translated into energy that you can send out your feet. Convert the light into roots and send the roots out the bottoms of your feet and deep into the earth, as deep as you can. The soil is fresh, easy to toil, easy to carve a path down. Feel how anchored you are, how close to the earth. Reach as far down as you can. The earth hugs your roots comfortably, no matter how sharp or curly, no matter how many times they split off. Slowly pull the roots back up the way they came. Your roots slither through the dark, the soil filling in its wake. Pull the roots back into your feet, convert it back to the light, and let the light filter through you and out the top of your head. Take one more deep breath in and begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. When you are ready, open your eyes. Welcome. If you're just joining us, we just did our morning grounding ritual. You can usually find me doing these on Monday mornings here on YouTube. Okay, now for the tarot reading. I'm going to be using the Celtic Tarot today. I kind of want to tune myself to it. Also, it comes with like this diesel book. All right, let's shuffle. So how are you guys doing this morning? How did that grounding ritual feel? Do you feel a little better? Hi, Christina. You will also be lurking. I get that. We're about to do our tarot card for the morning. For the week. All right, let's see what's up. The 11. It's a 9 reversed. Not 11, a 9 reversed. Which is good. Let me find the thing. Coins, swords. Trying to show the card as well as possible. The querent is experiencing a very dark period of depression and misery. Resistance to disease is poor and ill health is evident. He or she is further burdened with guilt and anguish. Well, that's what this deck says, but as rough as things might be right now, you do have the strength to kind of like handle whatever is coming your way. Ooh, nice. As negative as that reversed card was, yeah, things might be dark now, but the sun will rise. And the closer we get to Halloween, the further the veil will lift, which means more spirits are going to be showing up. And it's not lifting just here. It's also lifting in the Fey realms. It's also lifting in the astral realms. So I'm going to talk about household spirits today because they might make themselves evident in the coming weeks. And you kind of want to treat them with respect because they take care of you and they take care of your food and they take care of your protection. And your house has a spirit. Now, I have made a sanctum out of my house, which means my house is awakened. And if you've ever watched the KonMari method, she very much so is Shinto. And in Shinto, they not worship, but they pay homage to the house spirit. That is always a thing. I did a reading not long ago where this card was present, and the solution proposed was to find peace deeper as opposed to listening to anxiety. You know what? That is profound. Yes. Don't listen to the dark voices. If that is a possibility, of course. I know when I'm unmedicated, not listening to the dark voices is really super hard. But you have the strength. And hopefully I can give you a tool set that will kind of like help you cope and stay grounded during this rough time. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I should write down that card. So I got this tarot journal from Jules, the dawdling writer, who sells this in her Amazon shop. And it's got this like key map that I will be filling in as I pull cards. The date is, I need this thing. Close that. The date is Monday the 17th. I'm using the Celtic deck. The reader is Dia and Folks. The time is 10:05, maybe. The question what is the coming week like? I flip this thing over so I can draw my symbol for the swords. The 9 reversed of swords. How far I ever went with house magic was having crystals at each corner. Oh, that's great. I should do it again. I moved since then. Oh, so you should make the new house like warded, which is kind of what crystals in the windows and in the corners kind of do for you, is kind of warding from negative spirits. And you got to be careful with that, because if there is any negative energy inside the house, then it will trap the negative energy inside the house too. So I strongly recommend cleansing the house first and then doing your wards. So it's nice and clean and there's like nothing but good spirits inside. I recommend also having like a bell or some chimes or something inside the house, so that even with your wards up, you can summon good spirits and good chi. So those are my tips for kind of like making your house a sanctuary. And then there's more stuff you can do, but like those are like the basic things that I would do. So if you can double up with crystals and sigils. You can double up with crystals and plants. You can put salt in with your crystals. There's all kinds of cool stuff that you can do to kind of like amplify it. Dragon's blood resin, right? I actually had a Facebook ad for Dragon's blood, which was really great. I paid like $15 for like a bag of powder. I think the idea is that there is some peace within you, and maybe to train to connect with that better and not get into struggles that can only be superficial. Yes. So there is a Buddhist practice where we greet and face obstacles with great fervor. But with that skill comes the ability to kind of like gauge whether that struggle is actually a struggle or if it's worth facing. Yeah. So, and then you can like summon a guardian. I had actually in the corner that's all dark and stuff, I have a guardian, like a figure holding a guardian who protects my blanket fort. And I think he kind of takes it upon himself to protect my the whole level of my house. Because when I break down the blanket fort, he kind of watches over the rest of the house, which is cool. I didn't ask him to do that, but he does it. When I first put him up, he likes to be center attention. So I put him in my shrine, and he loves tea and having tea and like the conversations that you have when you're having tea. So I will make like a witchy tea and share a cup with him. With them, it's like they're not decidedly male, but they're not decidedly female. They're kind of that third gender. Let me show you. So this is Gorlak. Doo-doo. They were sent by Kali to protect my blanket fort. Yeah, Tea Talk is the best. I agree. And they, I believe when they first showed up, they said that they will not prevent destruction, but they will fight fire with fire. So and now that I think about it, that means that they're going to let whatever destroy or anything that they do might, cause destruction. But both spiritually and emotionally, and also, maybe not so much physically, but Tea Talk is the best. And sometimes guardians, so typically when you summon a guardian, you ask them like what kind of offerings you should give them. Sometimes the wrong offering will upset them, so or piss them off or make them feel bad. So I asked Gorlak, what kind of offering do you want? Like, how do I pay homage to you? And they said tea. I like tea. So, yeah. I once gave them money and they kind of frowned at me and said they didn't like it, that was wrong. So, okay, no money. I have a guardian upstairs in my bedroom that prefers money. They are a dragon in a dragon statue. I can't remember the god that I don't think I had someone send a god. I think I just made a bridge and then whoever crossed it was gonna help me out. That was my first guardian. So now I know to like get a hold of a god and then have them send someone as opposed to just kind of opening the door and hope someone walks in. You know, like experimentation and figuring out what works and what doesn't, and mistakes maybe that you've made. I have this. So this is my old book of mirrors, but in this book, I kind of record everything, and I also record. So I record how I'm putting together the spell, and summoning a guardian is kind of a like a rite, like a RITES, right? That way they so it's a bunch of spells all kind of like right next to each other. I've started doing it on my iPad in Procreate, and that's been super effective. So digital sigils, totally a thing. Totally worked for me. Okay, so household spirits. Now that we've, talked about guardians for a hot minute. So a household spirit is a guardian that, oh, by the way, I'm reading from the House Witch. I'm not going to read the whole book, but I am going to read this section. A household spirit is a guardian that defends the home or some specific part of it or the family members. When you give offerings like food or anything physical, how do you dispose of it? I recommend if you live near a stream, or you live near a crossroads. So don't throw it in the trash. Don't pour it down the sink. What I do with effects of spells that I don't need anymore, though, like sometimes I'll reuse a bottle, but usually not. The offering it to Hecate by leaving it at a crossroads. So like if there's like a tea section, that counts. Strays appreciate your offerings too sometimes. Yes, absolutely. So, and that is usually how I, how do I put this? It's how I offer the corpses of fairies. I kind of expect the birds to kind of like come and take them away. Though I have this one fairy who has been there for like 5 days and still hasn't been taken away. It's very beautiful, and hanging out on the moss where I can, you know, like that's, I have a lava rock that is covered in moss, and that is kind of like a sacred altar as far as my garden in the front of the house is. Oops. So, or you can go to a stream and kind of like throw it over your shoulder into the water and then walk away without looking. Oh, and you can do this in the woods too. But the stream is better because it carries it into oblivion. But you can do it in the woods, but you gotta walk away from it and not look back. You know, you drop it or whatever you offered. That way, that is you know, detaching yourself spiritually from that offering. And this goes for offerings to the Fae too. So like if you are the sort that leaves out a bowl of milk or leaves fruit on your doorstep or anything in your yard or whatever, anything like that, that is how I would get rid of it. However, like I said, the Fae veil is lifting as well, so fairies are going to be showing up. Okay, so here's here's my view on fairies. They're party friends. I like to like Beltane or Midsummer. Oh my god, they're so much fun. They love bonfires. They love, you know, like dancing naked around a fire. They love that shit. However, if you get involved in some way, they can kind of get not malicious. Malicious is too strong a word, but they can kind of fuck with you a little bit and mess up your life. So offerings are good because they kind of like, you know, keep them from entering your house. I know there are people who do Fey magic. I know that, but that's not for me. With the veil lifting, I intend on going to the woods and just like throwing apples into the woods. They're like teenagers. Yeah. Don't harsh on their vibe. Yeah. Ever. They will not just leave. They will definitely use you for target practice, as it were. Oh, where was I? These spirits are not formal deities or mythological figures. Rather, they are unique to the hearth and the family. The guardians, by the way. They may be related to the ancestors, or they may be spirits of the place. Yeah. Yeah. Household spirits are honored within the home and often represented by small figures or paintings or engravings on household items. Household spirits are generally acknowledged by the family and are given offerings of various food and or drinks or are honored in other ways. In general, the cultural associations made with these spirits of the protection of the home, protection of family members, and prosperity. I don't do prosperity things, uh, though I kind of expect that's the deal with, oh my god, I've forgotten his name. Oh no, I've forgotten his name. The guardian upstairs, because I offer him money, I suspect that prosperity is kind of a thing. The Roman cult of the hearth and family is an excellent example of how household spirits functioned within daily life and the spiritual activity of the family. The Lars Familiaris of ancient Rome were spirits associated with different places or activities. The Lars Familiaris, literally a family guardian, was a household god or spirit associated with an individual family home. A small shrine known as a Lararium served as a home for the Laris. Shrine right there. Appearing variously as a niche in the wall, a small cupboard, freestanding cupboard. The Lararium was placed near the hearth, the center focus of the home, or in an entryway, sometimes sharing or standing next to a shrine to Vesta. Vesta is a goddess of the hearth. Small statues of the Laris were placed in and around the home to protect it, sometimes on the roof or other high places, not unheard of. The Lar was an essential part of the family life in both day-to-day events and formal family functions. If individuals within the family honored the Lar, then the spirit would protect each of them and ensure they had good fortune. If an individual did not properly honor the spirit, then he or she would be ignored and denied the spirit's aid, not age, aid. And that's a good point. Like, paying homage to the household spirit, kind of like you get the benefits of the guardian, but if you just enter the room, I did kind of charge our tax. He to protect Greg as well. He's not a practicing warlock or witch or anything like that. He is agnostic, but I don't think he actually believes anything. Sometimes he's supportive, but he doesn't believe anything in my paradigm or anything like that. But so because of that, I kind of charge the guardian to also protect my husband, but I don't know if they do that or not. Okay, the Laris had their own festival called the Compitalia, celebrated around the 4th of January. I should make a note of that. The Compitalia is associated with the concept of the crossroads, an interesting symbol when you consider how much power the Lar held to help or hinder a family. Some records suggest that there were different Laris for different zones of the house, such as doorways, the hearth, and so on. The Penates for example, were originally spirits of the pantry and storerooms, who, when properly honored, would ensure the family was prosperous and always had enough to eat. In Virgil's Aeneid, Aeneas pauses to take the small figures of the hearth gods with him as he flees. This action suggests that home is wherever the hearth gods are. I think I'm less of a house guardian person and more towards blessings or stones, things like that to fix the energies of the place. There is nothing wrong with that. You don't have to use a guardian. No, not by any means. I'm just, but if you want to do like a saging or Florida water or incense smoke is another way to cleanse the house of spiritual energies. Then go ahead and do your crystals and salt and dragon's blood and whatever other plants you wanna do in the corners of your house. Also, any openings like entryways. So, like putting a succulent by the front door is a great way to ward the front door. And also kind of introduce prosperity to the house as well. I like jade plants because you can ignore them for months and months and months, but just water them every once in a while, and they will continue to grow. What would you say is the greatest benefit you get from a guardian? Protection, for sure. I have not had anything come at me since I have implemented both guardians. People will come to me and not at me. So that is the ultimate benefit that I've been finding. Artax kind of arranges, and I double this with a wishing box, with a spell box, which I might talk about some other time. In my spell box, I usually have some kind of prosperity or production related spell. And so I'm always provided for somehow. As soon as I run out of money, suddenly there's more money, right? Suddenly I'm presented with an opportunity to get more money. So I am always provided for money-wise. Last month was kind of rough. I have to agree. I didn't get any money last month, and I didn't get paid for last month's work until this month. So I would say take advantage of any. You can go ahead and do prosperity spells and stuff like that when you put together your wards and put together your blessings. But if you are faced with an opportunity to make money, I strongly recommend actually doing it. Yeah. We got that. If I need money real bad, it always comes to me. Whether it's, £5 or £10 or, something to get food or make a phone call or, like just something to put into the gas tank, like somehow it will always work out. So that is the upside to prosperity spells in your house before you set up your wards. Get the money. Also, hi, Allie. Glad you could make it. Thanks for hanging out. let's see. Taking the physical representations and focus for the spirit along with him symbolizes to Aeneas transporting the entire ancestry and culture as he seeks a new home and founds a new city. While the Lares were literally spirits of the place remaining in the house when a family moved and protecting everyone within it, regardless of station or kinship, the Manes were the actual spirits of the family, ancestors, and the beloved dead. Manes can be translated as the good ones or the kindly ones. For those who read Sandman, the Kindly Ones was one of the last books, and kind of like uses those spirits and those entities as characters in the story. Just got the monster child from school. She went to the zoo today. As always, she was perfect. Awesome! These spirits protected the family itself, not the house or the household servants. Shinto, the native religion of Japan, has as one of its tenets an honor for family and tradition. A Shinto home will usually have a small shrine or an altar called a kamedama, which is like a god shelf or a spirit shelf, placed high on a wall in a central living area of the home. Oh, I'm not reading the whole book. I'm only reading a snippet. Haha. Reading a snippet and making commentary on said snippets. So if you want to read along, I'll probably put a link in the description. Let's see. The altar is often a small shelf or a small house-like structure or facade set up to house ritual objects. Traditional, the 5 offerings made at a kamedama are rice, sake, water, salt, and some kind of evergreen branches or incense. I do and incense. I have a Buddhist shrine on the other side of this barrier, and those are the offerings for the spirits of both the house and also that bring in abundance and bring in enlightenment. Hi, cool gamer. Nice to see you. I wouldn't think you would, like hang out on my Witchy channel. I am honored that you are here. The tiny set of objects used at the altar for these offerings are known as shinki, not wrong, and include white ceramic vases for the evergreen branches. Ours aren't white. They can be any color. Flasks with lids to hold the blessed sake, true, or water, blessed water. A small dish for rice, yep. A flask for a lid for blessed water. It's kind of like a cup with a lid. A small dish for salt, and a low wooden platform or a tray on which to display the shinki set, of course, as well as miniature replicas of the lamps found in formal shrines, which is fun. Slime emergency. Okay. We'll be here when you get back. At least I think so. We got another 15 minutes or so. The kamedama is not dedicated solely to the kamedagami or a Shinto hearth god. It is certainly one of the kinds of spirits honored there. Creating a small location such as this in which to focus your honoring of your household spirits and ancestors is another way to explore the spirituality of the home and to honor it. See Chapter 3 for more information about constructing a physical representation of a spiritual hearth, and Chapter 6 for more information on constructing a kitchen shrine. Okay. European cultures, which I'm inclined to think that most of us are more European and less Shinto. European cultures have retained certain house spirits that have been encoded in folk tales but are still referred to in modern times and remembered in cultural tradition. These spirits are generally male, often hairy, human-shaped, but in smaller proportion of a miniature stature, and are generally benevolent unless provoked by disrespect or open recognition. Open recognition. I'm going to make that like a super point. If one of these household spirits is associated with your cultural ancestry, you may think about inviting one to take up residence in your home. Just make sure you treat it properly. Okay, so the next section in the book talks about brownies and boggarts and hobs and domovoy, tomte, nisse, kobolds. They kind of go into specifics regarding each of those critters and how to treat them. And kind of like the kind of figures you would look for these household creatures. Sometimes you can buy them or make them. I would recommend making them, but you can buy them, especially if they're already made by a witch. Odds are very good that they've been treated properly, and they don't already have spirits in them. They're clean, and they have a good vibe about them. So you can invite a spirit into your home and have a place for them to hang out. Although not considered gods in a real sense, these are more mischievous household spirits that had to be kept content in order to avoid ill fortune or obstacles in daily life. In some cases, keeping a spirit content meant not acknowledging it, as in the case of the brownie. Offerings. In Japan, they scatter rice in the four corners and in the center of a particular site as an offering to a kami. Oh, my stomach. I better eat after this. Basic food offerings such as sake, salt, and water are called shinsen. Although an offering may be a food, cooked or otherwise, we like fruit. Bless the fruit. And you can eat blessed fruit. By the way, any food that you offer to the gods or to spirits or anything like that on your shrine, the food is now blessed. So the question came up earlier as to what to do with your effects, with your spell effects. If you are honoring a spirit, they will bless the food and you can eat it and gain, benefit. So in Buddhism, what we do is we take a bottle of sake, we put it in the shrine, and we leave it there for a year so that every time we chant at the shrine, it blesses. Every time we light incense, every time we put in some rice, every time we change the water, which you do daily, you bless the sake, and blessing it for 365 days. And then come the new year, January 1st, by the by, what do you make oni, which is like a soup, with the sake, which is a New Year's soup, which is amazing and wonderful, and I love making it. Maybe sometime I'll share that recipe. And you drink the sake with your friends and your family and anybody that you wish to bless. So, and ideally, you would empty the bottle that day to gain ultimate benefit. But I don't know. I haven't ever had leftovers for the sake. So I don't know what would happen if you did the sake. I wouldn't be able to have it sit there for a whole year without drinking it. Yeah, my husband is the same way. He actually had a period in his life where he drank like a lot of sake, like every day, and his liver almost shut down. So, looking whenever he experiences hardship, he sits at the um, our Buddhist shrine and he chants mentally, but he chants. And um, staring at a sake bottle while he's chanting, while he's trying to look for strength not to drink, is not beneficial for him. So, hey, stop that. Sorry, cat. So, if you can't think of the sake bottle as part of your decor, and you want to drink it, then leave it as long as you can, and then make sure to bless it real quick before you drink it. So, like, change the rice, change the water, light some incense, maybe chant some, then drink it. And then you will gain ultimate, as much benefit from it as you possibly can. I remember doing alcohol offerings, and strong alcohol evaporates quickly, so that was nice. Yes. Absolutely. Okay. Let's see. See if there's any other goodies in here. Bread and porridge is a common offering to household spirits. Simple way to honor your house spirit is to leave a portion of the meal you serve to your family for them, either on your Christian shrine or in another place, like your doorstep or your backyard. The amount depends on what you can spare and what you think the spirit would appreciate. An excessive amount might suggest to the spirit that you have more than enough and do not need help. Too little may offend it. So a spoonful may be enough. Leave the offering overnight and dispose of what is left in the next morning. While it may not seem as if any has been consumed, the argument is often that the spirit absorbs the energy of an offering, and they certainly are aware of the action and appreciate the respect and acknowledgement thus demonstrated. So that's a thing. Slime was running. Ew, gross. So we have 5 minutes left, which means I did pretty good discussing the topics therein and doing the typical setup that I do for these streams. Are there any other related topics that maybe you want to discuss for the next couple minutes? Excuse my itchy nose. Third quartet today. What curse should I banish? Oh, third quarter today. What curse should I banish? Less about banishing a curse and more about banishing bane spirits. Any negative spirits that have made it into your house or into your studio or into wherever your sacred space is. I would use a banishing spell and then a cleansing spell. Sometimes that's the same spell, which works really great, that it does both. Which I think I have things in here. Oh, home protection, wards, stones for protection, burning incense, purifying, room purification, and then you want to bless it. Blessing is ideal. Yeah. So don't think of it as banishing a curse, because that implies that you have had a specific problem for a, given by someone else or by something else, which can happen, especially by Fae. Fae will curse you like, whoa. Bet. I love efficient spells. Yes. So purification, I would do. So that's cleansing, that's banishing, and then bless it. And then set up your wards. And you can do that spiritually. You can do that with, like Dio was talking about earlier, she uses crystals, which is great. Dragon's blood, salt, plants like succulents. Don't forget your windows and your doorways. Yeah. If you liked this video at any point, I encourage you to hit the like button. And if you would like to see more streams like these, you can totally find me on Monday mornings. The closer we get to the veil, the more I'm going to be talking about spirits. And the kind of spirits you're going to approach or that are going to approach you as the veil drops. On the 25th, everything is lifting. So beware. I recommend wearing protection, like this necklace, like if I bought this ring yesterday. Let me see if I can show it. Not really, but it's a garnet in a snake-like setting. And boop. Thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out with me and listening to me blabber on about house spirits. You might want to subscribe if you haven't already, just so that you get notified when I go live. And you might want to ring the bell just in case, YouTube actually notifies you when I go live. And I will catch you guys on the flip side.